The headline reads, Nintendo states its intention to acquire more development teams. And so, have you ever thought about who Nintendo should buy next? Over the years, Nintendo has bought some longtime partners, brought them fully in-house, like Next Level Games, which they officially acquired in 2021. Monolith Soft, which joined Nintendo back in 2007, being purchased from Bandai Namco. And there are still a few studios that just feel like they belong under the Nintendo umbrella. Think HAL Laboratory, the team behind Kirby, and a close Nintendo partner since the early days. You've got PlatinumGames, known for titles like Bayonetta 2 and Astral Chain, both Nintendo published. And some might even say Atlus, the RPG powerhouse behind Persona and Shin Megami Tensei. And there are even people out there that, toss around Sega. Maybe Sega is one of those wild what-if scenarios given the long history of collaboration and friendly rivalry. So let's talk about it. Which studio makes the most sense for Nintendo to acquire? And which ones would completely shake things up? And Nate came in immediately and was like, yo, they should buy Sony. They should buy Sony. Joey Pitts, right off the bat, says Nintendo needs to reacquire Rare. Let's camp on that for a little bit. I would be all for that. I'm a huge Rare fan. I would love to see, especially with the recently canceled Perfect Dark, I would love to see Perfect Dark. In my mind, Perfect Dark will always be a Nintendo IP. It was born on the Nintendo 64, and there was a game on the Game Boy as well. And that is a series that I would love to see Nintendo have their mature shooter, and Perfect Dark fits the mold. Now, Rare obviously isn't the same team that it was back then. In fact, I am of the mind that a lot of people that made the Perfect Dark and GoldenEye so special moved on to start Free Radical, which then they started, Time Splitters. But that was, that was so long ago. And then Perfect Dark has never really, it wasn't all that great on the 360 when I played it. Right. I made myself enjoy it because I was such a fan of Perfect Dark, but Halo had taken over at that point in my mind. And so I would love to see Perfect Dark back in the hands of Nintendo. And then I think I would like to see Retro be able to do the Perfect Dark games. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think I would have Rare do the Perfect Dark games. I feel like I have never been a fan of the art style of Sea of Thieves. I would not want Perfect Dark looking cartoony, right? Like in my mind, I would want it to be a much more serious and gritty game. And I feel like in the hands of Retro, they could do it. Now, along with Rare, you would get the likes of, Banjo-Kazooie and plenty of other titles as well. Was it Cameo? Was another one that was great. You get the Battletoads back, which Battletoads really do seem. Of course they've got the arcade, but they were on the NES there, and they were great there. You've also got Killer Instinct, which Microsoft has done some with, and I think they've done decent with it. But I would love to see. I mean, that's a lot of IP that would come along that I assume would come along with that studio, right? I think everybody kind of assumes that. So that's one just off the top of my head, right? Joey says Platonic. Get the team behind Yooka-Laylee on Nintendo's team. You got like I mentioned earlier, like Platinum and honestly, I almost see these two like working hand in hand, but Team Ninja. right? Team Ninja was responsible for uh, the Ninja Gaiden series back in the day, also the Dead or Alive series, but they and I don't, but see, I don't know who has the rights are kind of a different thing, because I think I want to say was Koei Temco in, like, were they part of Ninja Gaiden with with Ninja Gaiden 4 on that came out on the Xbox and will hopefully make its way over to Switch 2 at some point. I can't remember if they're tied to that or not, but so it's hard to say. But so peak is just speaking like strictly from, like, let me rub my magic genie lamp, and this is what we'd like to see. That would include games like Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive. I don't know. It's on 3DS, which is crazy. So maybe I went through my played games today on the on that store app, and Dead or Alive from the 3DS was there. So Nintendo has had Dead or Alive on their systems before. But of course, you got Bayonetta, and then Team Ninja did Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which was fantastic, and I hope we continue to see that series live on, especially as a Nintendo exclusive. I mean, whether it's an exclusive or not, but I just want to see that series live on. I really, really enjoyed that game, and thought the gameplay loop was fantastic. So, Nate says Platinum has nothing though. They would be a worthless buy. They're just contractors, and yeah, they're kind of a shell of what they were, right? A handful of people have left, and there's been some some shakeups. It seems like ever since like Bayonetta 3 seems like it was kind of the start of things kind of going south, with like the voice actress not being happy with things, and then making herself look kind of not so great online, and then you saw, I think even the head of the company ended up leaving, who was the founder or something along those lines. Like, and I don't have the info in front of me, but there was quite a bit of a shakeup within that studio. So pending they come with some killer IP, maybe, but I'm not sure, like who owns Bayonetta. And you've got some, I believe they are tied, and you guys can fact check me as always, but like Wonderful 101, wasn't that a Platinum game as well? You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but the I think that would be great to see some of those games get back into the fold. And I don't know what the future of Bayonetta holds, but like we not only got all of the Bayonetta games on Switch 1, we also got that that kind of prequel to Bayonetta, that like strange little RPG game. So Sega owns it. Gotcha. Okay. So Sega owns Bayonetta, Platinum develops it, and then Nintendo publishes it. Like, what a weird love triangle that is. So strange. Like, so strange. So yeah, just throw Sega in the mix. Let's just get Sega over on Nintendo's side as well. No, I think I kind of like the fact that we wouldn't see the great advertising that we saw with like Sonic Crossworlds, where everybody was talking about how like they basically did a 90s commercial with the Sega versus Nintendo and the Mario Kart versus Crossworlds or whatever. Like that was fantastic. So I want to keep that. I want to keep that stuff kind of going. That was really good. Joey says, can Nintendo buy Lucasfilm or DICE? Imagine Mario Star Wars crossover. Not even a crossover, just getting the Star Wars games that were on the NES and the GameCube and the Super Nintendo. Like I think I talked about those not too long ago. Like there's some fantastic Star Wars titles out there, and they seem like they're just kind of stuck in limbo, and it would be so good. We started to get some of them. Like there's a pretty significant library of Star Wars games on the Switch, but some of them are strange choices. We got what was it? The Force Unleashed, but it's the Wii version. I bought that game thinking it was the Xbox version. It's the Wii version. So it doesn't look that great. I think it might even be missing levels or something. Like I was kind of like thoroughly annoyed. I got it for very cheap, so it wasn't that big a deal. But I was like, yo, this is a great game. I would play it on the go. And then I found out it's the Wii version of the game. Like, don't do that. What are we doing here? Don't do that. Any other studios that you guys can think of that come to mind that you think Nintendo should purchase? I see Army Life is here. What's going on? I know one of them that gets tossed around that I saw quite a bit was Mercury Steam, and seeing that, like, you know, the team behind Metroid Dread and I believe the team behind Samus Returns on the 3DS, like that's a pretty solid choice. Bring them in house and just get them pumping out those Metroid games. Make sure that's their main focus, and we can see as many of those as quickly as possible because they are fantastic games. So that would be one of my choices for sure. So, well, we are going to put a bow on this thing. What do you think? Is it the right move for Nintendo to start acquiring more companies? Let me know in the comments in Discord, or you can check the poll that I have going over on Spotify. Speaking of Spotify, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure to follow, rate, and review. It really helps push the show to more Nintendo fans. And all I got to say, guys, is play it loud.